Financially raw, real, authentic wisdom with Lawrence Oberholzer from Retire Rich and Happy.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another it's the first episode of 2023, Financially Raw. And welcome back, everybody on our social media channels. Welcome to all of you, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and then all our listeners on Berg Studio. I'm so glad to be back with you guys. It took me a week longer. I was planning on coming back on the 12th, but things didn't work out that way. So here I am, back on the 19th of January, and very excited to start this year with you. Again, as per usual, you are welcome to send me a shout out on Berg Studio. You'll see there's a little shout out button at the top, and you can just press there, and I will receive the messages here in the studio. Also, if you want to send me a message on WhatsApp, I've got my WhatsApp open here in the office or in the studio. You can send it to 082 641 3555. As usual, we will be playing some music on Berg Studio, and I have a random selection of some classic songs that I'm going to share with you today. I'm really looking forward to that. Unfortunately, those of you following us on social media, we cannot play the music, otherwise we get blocked. So you will then have a break, a 5-minute break when we have a music break, and you can go and grab yourself a coffee, or answer those emails that you're not answering because you're listening to me. So you are welcome to go there and do a little bit of work in that 5 minutes. So what are we going to talk about today? Today's topic is how FreeSure's unique 5-step process can help your business succeed in 2023. So as part of our business development, we have created a 5-step process for business success. And that is what I'm going to share with you today. I'm going to share some of the challenges SMMEs face. So if you've just started a business, you're planning on starting a business, or you had your business for a few years already, you want to watch this video, you want to listen to this show because you want to get an idea of the roadmap you can have to lead your business into success. A successful business doesn't just happen by chance. A successful business happens by design. So you need to have a roadmap. You need to know exactly how you get there. So before we get started, let's have a short music break. And when we come back, we're going to go straight into our discussion points for today, which is how FreeSure's 5-step program or 5 steps process will help your business succeed in 2023. So let's go on to that break for those of you on social media. And welcome back, everyone. I hope you got some coffee. If you're watching on social media, I hope you got some coffee and you're ready to have a great show with us this morning. Like I said before the break, our show for today is about the 5 steps that can help your business succeed in 2023. And I'm going to share that with you as we go along. So if you are an SMME, a small business owner, an entrepreneur, you don't want to miss this show. Also, if you know of some SMMEs or entrepreneurs that are struggling, that wants to succeed this year, but they don't know quite where to start, please let them join us. Share the link with them on social media, or just send them the Berg Studio link so that they can also get this information. I'm really looking forward to sharing all of this with you this morning. So as per usual, you can give me a shout out on the website. There's a little shout out button at the top. You can press there and I will get notified in studio that you are or you sent me a message. Also, you are welcome to send me a message on WhatsApp, number 082 801 6693. I'll repeat that, 082 801 6693. Okay, so let's get going and start talking a little bit about how FreeSure's unique 5-step process can help your business succeed in 2023. Now, FreeSure is the first business that I started in 2002. And the FreeSure name came about by giving people the freedom to be sure of their future. And this has expanded, this message, this idea has expanded into the whole group of businesses we have at the moment. And FreeSure is then involved in helping SMMEs succeed in business. And I'll talk a little bit about our mission statement as we go through. So if you are an SMME and you're a small business owner, I want you to imagine or picture the following. Your business in 2023 achieving the goals you've set for yourself, but you do it effortlessly and stress-free. So if you could do that, how would that change your year? How more successful will you be if you can start achieving your goals effortlessly and stress-free? Focusing on the things that you are an expert in instead of 120 other things that you are not an expert in. And that is what we want to help SMMEs to achieve. And that's why I'm talking to you this morning about this, because we're in the beginning of the year. We all want to be successful. How do we do that? So what is our mission at the FreeSure Group? It says to empower SMMEs to thrive through expert business support and personalized solutions. We bring a wealth of experience and a deep understanding of each client's unique needs to help them achieve their full potential. So there's a couple of things on that's very important. The first one is to empower SMMEs. It's all about empowerment, helping you to do it yourself. And supporting you to become successful in your own business. So we want you to thrive, but we do it through an expert business support. You need to have experts in your corner if you really want to succeed. You can't just wing it and think you're going to make it work. You have to have experts in your corner to help you succeed in your business. We bring a wealth of experience, and I'll talk a little bit about all the people in our team and how much experience they bring to the table, and then a deep understanding of each client's unique needs. Guys, I started my business in 2002 also as an SMME, as a young entrepreneur, had no clue what I was doing. And all of these things that we are addressing for small business owners are things that I experienced personally. So I know exactly how you feel, what you're going through, because I also had to start my business from nothing. So let's first start with some of the challenges to start a successful SMME, or small, medium, and micro enterprise. So what are the challenges that you face? You might have just started your business. You might have had your business for a couple of years, but you're just not getting it to grow. Or you are planning to start a business and you have this fear factor of, okay, but what am I getting myself into? So here's some of the challenges you will face starting your own business. The first one is most SMMEs are started by a technician having an entrepreneurial seizure. Now, what do I mean with a technician having an entrepreneurial seizure? So what happens is typically you work in a business and you work as a specific profession, or you've got a specific set of skills. Like, for example, a plumber works in a plumbing business, an electrician works in an electrical contractor. So the electrician is good at what he does and he has a certain set of skills that he uses. But then that technician looks at the business, he looks at the owner of the business and he says, my boss is an idiot. I'm sure I can do this much better than he can. And that is when they have an entrepreneurial seizure and they decide, I'm going to quit, I'm going to start my own business. But what they don't understand, what they forget, is that running a business and working as somebody in that business has completely different skill sets. So, for example, being a plumber and doing plumbing work and running a plumbing business is not the same thing. It's not the same skills. And unfortunately, most of us think that if we are a good plumber, we can run a good plumbing business. And it's not the same thing. You need to have a different set of skills to start running a business that does the thing that you do. And then what happens is entrepreneurs find themselves where 80% of their time is being spent on things they were never trained to do in the first place. Things like which places they need to be registered, what tax they need to be registered for, compiling and finishing tax returns, accounting, all of those kind of things that they've never been trained for. Now suddenly you have to work on that. You have to have a bookkeeping system. You have to have an invoicing system. You have to follow up with people that haven't paid you. And now suddenly your time is not spent working on your technical expertise, but your time is spent on all of these other things. Now let's just look at the difference between a corporation and a SMME. Because if you look at a corporation like an MTN or a Vodacom, they've got a completely different scenario to an SMME. And there's lots of differences. I'm going to focus on a few. The first one is the corporation, the person working in the corporation, the manager, the CEO of the corporation has access to experts in every single field that business needs support in. So they've got access to expert lawyers, they've got access to chartered accountants, they've got access to IT experts, they've got access to financial experts. They've got access to all of these experts. A lot of them are on payroll, but some of them are outsourced, but they are the experts in their field. The SMME is mostly 100% reliant on external support. As an SMME, you cannot afford to have your accountant on your payroll. You can't afford to have your lawyer on your payroll. You can't afford to have your financial advisor or your business coach on your payroll. So you are reliant on external support. But when we look at the corporation, they have almost unlimited budget to spend on these people. So they can afford to have a lawyer on staff. They can afford to have the chartered accountant or the bookkeepers or a team of bookkeepers on staff. Whereas an SMME, you don't have that affordability. You can't afford to have these people on staff. I just got a message from Fricky who says, "Morning, Lawrence. Welcome back from the Retire Rich and Happy office personnel." Thanks, Fricky. It's good to be back. If you have any questions, you guys are welcome to ask me as I go along, and I'll answer these questions as quickly as I can. So the affordability is not there for an SMME to get the best. So what do? As an SMME? We get a Tannie that helps somebody else that we know with their bookkeeping. She sits at home and she does 10 or 15 or 20 companies bookkeeping for them at the cheapest possible rate. and we pay her as little as we can to do our bookkeeping and our accounting for us. A friend of ours has somebody that does some legal work, and we try and get some advice from him, and then we start drawing up our own contracts. We just write up agreements, or we draw templates from the internet for our employment contracts and all of those kind of things, hoping that it will be adequate. So you see the difference in support structure that SMMEs have against where corporations have. And after a while, we've built up all of these guys that help us, usually on a budget. Usually we try and do it as cheap as we can. And the other problem is that these guys never talk to one another, because they're not focused on your business specifically. They focused on the 20, 30, 40, 50 different businesses that they supply with service. So they just want to get the absolute minimum information from you so that they can just do the job and get paid. That's all they're worried. They're not worried about your business success. They're not worried about helping you reach your goals. The next thing is, as the corporation, as the CEO of a corporation, you will get informed by the experts what needs to be done next, and you can then just sign off on that. As an SMME, it is expected of you to inform the support what you want them to do. And you see the difference between those two. The one is experts tell you what the next step is. The other one is you need to tell experts what the next step is. And that comes from a place where you are not trained to do this. You don't know what the next step is. And that's where so many things fall through the cracks. That typically leads to being overwhelmed. And the moment we are overwhelmed, we forget about our goals. We're not focused on the horizon. We just focused at our feet, just giving us the next step or taking the next step and just hoping we survive and in some way we make it to our destination. That also creates a lot of stress for SMMEs, especially once all these balls that you wanted to try and keep up in the air starts falling one by one. The things that have fallen through the cracks because it was never addressed starts coming back and it bites you. That's when the stress levels goes up. And the business owner, the entrepreneur, don't have the time to focus to work on his business because he's so busy working in his business, trying to just earn enough money to not only pay for his overheads and his family's expenses, but also to pay people to fix these problems, but pay them as little as possible. And it creates that vicious cycle. You don't have enough money, you have more expenses because things fell through the cracks. You work harder to make that money, which means you can't focus on growing your business, which means you can't pay the top guys to fix these problems for you, which means more things fall through the cracks, which means you need more money, which means you work harder. And so it just continues and continues until such time as people either decide that their business is just going to be small, they're not going to grow, they're not going to have any goals, they're just going to survive from month to month, or they quit saying, this is not for me. I tried being a business owner. I tried having my own business. Maybe it's just not for me. I'd rather, or I'd have to go back and find myself another job. Okay, so when we come back, we're going to take another music break on that positive note. We're going to take another music break, and when we come back, we're going to look at the 5 steps for business success. And we're going to get into how do we solve these problems? How do we help business owners to achieve success? Again, those of you listening or watching on our social media channels, we're going to have a 5-minute break. So go grab a coffee, send that email, make that phone call, and then be back as soon as our music finishes. And those of you on Berg Studio, we're going to move over. Welcome back, everyone, and that was Take On Me from AHA. Those of you watching on our social media, unfortunately, I can't play you the music. So if you want to listen to our music, you are welcome to go onto Berg Studio and get the music as well as the talk. On social media, the benefit is you can see the screen, so which the guys on Berg Studio unfortunately can't. You just have to listen. Again, if you have any questions, you are welcome to send me a question, a shout out on Berg Studio, or send me a WhatsApp on 082-801-6693. Okay, so let's continue with our talk and let's start going into solutions. It's no use just giving problems and not giving some solutions. So we have created the 5 steps for business success. Now, there's a couple of things in our business. We've created a 5 steps to retire rich and happy, which is our foundation in all things personal financial, related to personal financial planning. So the 5 steps for to retire rich and happy is: number 1, invest in yourself, and you'll see that as a theme going through everything we do. Step number 2, minimize your risk. Step number 3, become an entrepreneur. So we talk about becoming an entrepreneur, starting an SMME, working for yourself. Then invest in income generating assets, and lastly, pay it forward. Now we've created the 5 steps for business success. This is a unique roadmap that we have created to help SMMEs understand what they need to do to achieve the success and achieve the dreams they've had for their business when they started it. So let's have a quick overview of the 5 steps, and then I will go into a little bit more detail of the 5 steps. So step number 1 is called identify. You need to identify problem and risk areas in your business that could come around and bite you in the backside. So it's important to know that awareness is crucial. Once you have identified these areas of concern, of areas that need improvement, you go to step 2, which is rectify. How do we rectify these areas? Number 3 is then become, and that is focused on you as the leader, you as the business owner. What is it that you need to become to take your business to the next level? Step number 4 is develop, which is focused on your employees and your staff. How do you develop your employees and staff so that they can help you take your business to where it needs to be? And step number 5 is expand. Expand your business, expand your footprint, expand your brand. So those are the 5 steps: identify, rectify, become, develop, expand. So that is something that's easy to remember, and I would suggest you learn that in your business and always look at, am I identifying, am I rectifying, am I becoming, am I developing, or am I expanding? So let's look at the first one, identify. So what we do here is we focus on doing a health checkup for your business. Now, every year you go to your doctor, you do a quick health checkup and make sure that all the systems in your body is still working optimally. And if there's any systems that aren't working optimally, you work on fixing those systems. Now, that is what you're supposed to do. And that is very important. If you want to live a healthy life, if you want to be more productive, it's good to have a health checkup every year. But very few entrepreneurs does a health checkup for their business. And that is where identify comes in. You do a health check for your business. And there's specific areas that we focus on for these health checks. The first one is a financial health assessment. The financial health assessment focuses on all the risk areas, the financial products that you need to have in place, making sure that if something happens to either of the owners or some of the key individuals in your business, that your business can manage and move forward and not completely collapse. We look at your commercial insurance. Is that in place? Is that accurate? Are you paying for things that you don't need? And are you not paying for things that you do need? So that assessment will give you a breakdown of every area that could potentially become a risk area. The second checkup is your tax health checkup. So your tax health you need to make sure that you are in good standing with SARS. You don't want SARS to come after you. And you don't want to wake up one morning and SARS took money out of your account because they decided that they're returning a VAT return or rejecting a VAT return and you were never informed of it. You want to be on top of these things. So in the tax health, everything gets checked from your ITR 14 all the way to your EMP 501s, making sure that your tax health is tip top. Then we have your accounting health check to make sure that your accounting, your bookkeeping, everything is up to speed. Your loan accounts are properly noted. The other debt in your business is properly noted. Everything is done according to the book and correctly to your own benefit. A lot of small, medium enterprises, owners start the business and they start the business with their own money. They start the business on credit cards, on personal loans, savings, but they never make notes of all of the money that they've put into the business. And there's no note of that loan account. And that is a very big problem because later on, as your business starts generating profit, if you've built up a loan account from the money that you've put into your business, you can draw that loan account back tax-free into your personal life or your personal finances. So it's important to understand and make sure that these things are up to date. Then you look at your human resources health check and the legal side. Is your employment contracts up to speed with all the latest legislation? Is your employees looked after? Do you have all the relevant registrations with all the relevant industry-specific organizations? Do you have proper procedures and policies in place to make sure that you've got a good working environment for your people? Then we look at your employee health checkup. So what does your employee wellness look like? Are your employees stressed? Are they overworked? Are they tired? Can you qualify for skills development levy or internships? All of those kind of things gets checked up under your employee health. Are you optimizing the benefits that you might get from the government through internships, etc., etc.? Then we look at your brand health. What does your company's brand look like? If people search you on the internet, what is the reviews? Are there bad reviews that you don't know of? Are you listed on Hello Peter and you don't even know how much business you lose because of a bad reputation? When people search your website on an Apple device, does it also optimize the website so that it can be read on Apple? What does your brand identity look like? Is your colors the same all over? Is the fonts the same? Do people get this consistency from your brand? Because it's those things that create credibility. So in all of this, we've created a team of experts with combined experience of over 100 years. So over 100 years of combined experience in all of these different areas: the financial, the tax, the accounting, human resources, employee health, and then brand health. Experts with combined experience of over 100 years that works with you, creates these assessments for you, and gives you a report to show you exactly where you might have potential problems in the future that needs to be addressed. Something I say to a lot of the time is awareness is already 80% of the battle won. Just knowing that something needs to be addressed is already 80% of the battle won, because once you're actually aware of it, you suddenly realize that it is not that difficult to overcome in the first place. Where we tend to be so afraid to really face these problems, we put our head in the sand because we think we can't afford it. We think the problem is bigger than we can handle, and we hope it goes away. And it becomes a bigger and bigger and bigger problem, where if you become aware of it, you can start creating a plan of action, and that will reduce the stress on you in your business already. So let's then move to step 2. Step 2 is very easy. That is rectify. So we've found different areas of concern. So then let the experts create a personalized plan of action for you on how do we address these issues. We prioritize them. We make sure that which are the ones that will give you problems immediately, which are the ones that can be done over a 6-month period or a year period. But at least you have a plan. You have a roadmap. You have a thing that gives you pointers where the pitfalls are going to be. And that personalized plan of action is dependent on your affordability. It's dependent on what your time looks like. So they build it around you. And that is important so that you actually have a view of a vision of where you are going with your business. It says there, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And that was Desmond Tutu that said that. And that is so important. You might have a whole elephant of problems, but you tackle them one bite at a time and you will get through them. It's when we look at everything all at once and we want to fix everything that we fix nothing. So then we go to step 3. Step 3 is become. So what does become mean? Become means, what do you need to become? What do you as the owner, the CEO, the founder, the leader, what do you need to become, or who do you need to become to lead your business to achieve the goals that you've set? Here we focus on your personal development. You need to focus on your personal development, your skills. We focus on business coaching. You can have financial coaching helping you not only manage the finances of your business more accurately or more successfully, but also your personal finance. Jim Rohn said, for things to change, you have to change. For things to get better, you have to get better. For things to improve, you have to improve. So when you grow, everything in your life grows with you. And I see so many SMMEs, so many small business owners, and they complain about their staff. They complain about the employees that aren't equipped to do the work that they need them to do. But they never work on themselves in the first place to equip themselves to be better leaders, to equip themselves to be better visionaries, to equip themselves to be better managers. So work on yourself and all the other things around you will start growing. That's why become is the middle point of this whole thing. It's the center point, because you are the center point of your business. You are the heart where everything flows from. And that's why become is also the heart of this process. TJ comments on Berg Studio. He says, powerful facts. Thanks, TJ. Yeah, these are things that a lot of SMMEs don't think about. The owners don't have the time to think about it. So it's so important to really have a roadmap. Otherwise, you'll end up exactly where you're heading, and that's nowhere. So let's look at step 4. Step 4 is develop. And this is all about investing in your employees, investing in your staff, helping them become better. Because if they grow, everything starts growing. If they become better, your business becomes better. So invest in your employees. Here we help companies to put employee benefits in place, to give their employees more peace of mind. We focus on skills development and training. How do you upskill your employees? How can you bring interns into your business, get tax benefits for those internships, and upskill people to become productive members of society? We focus on employee wellness. If we find out your employees are tired, they don't have proper nutrition, they're not really healthy, they stress, they don't sleep well, that all has an impact on productivity. It has an impact on morale in your business. So if through an employee wellness program you can improve your employees' general wellness, your business wellness will improve as well. And then we focus on financial education and coaching for your employees. So many employees have never had any financial education. They have a very low financial IQ. So they get themselves into debt. They don't know how to budget. And that creates its own set of stress because they owe people money. They're not earning enough. And therefore they are stressed, which means they can't focus on their job, which means they're not productive, which means your business is not growing. Henry Ford said, the only thing worse than training your employees and having them leave is not training them and having them stay. And that is such a true statement. Invest in your employees and your employees will invest in your business. Okay, so let's take another short music break. It's going to be a 5-minute break, and then we'll come back and we'll wrap it up for today. Again, if you have any questions, you are welcome to give me a shout out or send me a WhatsApp at 082-801-6693. So let's take that break, and then the guys on... Welcome back, everyone, and this is Berg Studio, and that was Needles and Pins from Smokey. Those of you watching on our social media, unfortunately, you just had this little picture saying we will be right back. So hopefully you took the time to grab a cup of coffee, send an email, make the call, talk to the co-worker, get some work done, and then come back so that you can finish listening to me. Okay, so let's do the last step, step number 5. So we've gone through step number 4, which is develop, which is all about how you develop your staff. One of the things that is close to my heart on the development of staff, I haven't put it in here specifically, but that is sales training. And so many people tell me, yeah, but I'm not in sales. And my answer is always, you are in sales. Anything in business you do is sales are involved. Because if you are working with a company, you need them to supply you with certain products at a specific point in time. You need to sell them on the idea of getting your needs met. That is sales. If you talk to a client and that client needs to pay you in time and you want to convince him to pay you on time, that is sales. So sales skills has a huge impact on everything you do in the business. So a big part of what we do when we do skills development training is all about sales training. Every member of the staff needs to get sales training because it has an impact on everything. So let's look at step 5. Step 5 is expand. And Napoleon Hill said, whatever your mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. So whatever your goal is for your business, whether your goal for your business is to just be a very successful mom and pop store that just gives your family a good life, and you have some free time and you can have a comfortable life with your family, that's fine. If your goal is you want to create a multinational corporation, that's also achievable. Because whatever your mind can conceive and believe, and that's the key thing, it must be able to conceive it clearly and believe it. It can be achieved. So step 5 is, how do we expand your business? To start moving closer to that vision you've had about your business when you started it. How do we move your business from being transactional to being transformational? Most businesses are transactional businesses. You do something, you get paid for that time, that effort, that service you offer. And then you have to go and do it again to get paid again. And then you have to go do it again to get paid again. That's a transactional business. And a transactional business gets created through asking the wrong question. And that question is, what can I do? And then we keep doing that to earn an income. Where a transformational business uses leverage to earn unlimited income and create unlimited growth. And the question we ask when we want to create a transformational business is, what can I teach others to do? And once you start asking that question, you will start growing your business and expanding your business. So how FreeSure as a company help SMMEs to expand their business is through coaching, through guiding. They teach you how to replace yourself, because that is the focus on expansion. You need to build a structure and then start replacing yourself in this hierarchy of yours. We help you recruit better through our experts, get better quality of staff in the first place so that you can train them to become even better. So if you can recruit better, you will grow better. You build leverage. You build leverage by recruiting the right staff and training the right staff to be the best at what they do. And then lastly, get funding, because that's always one of the most difficult things for SMMEs, is how do I grow if I can't find funding somewhere? Because I have to get some money to expand, get a new office, put in new furniture, open a new branch, whatever the case may be. How do I fund all of this expansion? And through the FreeSure Group, through our partner companies, you can apply for funding. And then once you've done all of that, you repeat the process. You expand. You then identify if there's any problems, if there's any new problems that was created by expansion, new issues that you need to think about through the expansion. You then rectify those issues. You then become the next thing you need to become for the business in that scale to take it to the next step. You then develop your staff and you expand again. Once you've expanded, you identify if there's any problems that you need to look at. You rectify those problems. You become what you need to become to be at the next level. You develop your staff and you expand. And you just keep repeating that process with your support structures to grow your business exponentially. Repetition is the mother of skill, something Tony Robbins said. It's being consistently consistent, doing things over and over and over again. And this 5-step process that we've developed gives you that roadmap, but it gives you a roadmap that basically leads in a circle. You start at one point, and it not really a circle, more of a spiral. It starts at one point, you identify, you rectify, you become, you develop, and then you expand. So your circle becomes a little bit bigger, and then you do the 5 steps again, and you expand, and the circle becomes a little bit bigger. And through that spiral process, your business grows and grows, and you become more and more successful. Guys, I really enjoyed spending this morning with you. This is our first show for 2023, and I'm looking forward to a lot more informative shows over the next year. I'm very excited about 2023, and I look forward to sharing the journey with you through this year. If you have any questions or you want to chat to us about our business support solution, you can go to FreeSure.com, or you can go to email me at lawrence@freesure.com. Please check, it's not a .co.za, it is a .com. So lawrence@freesure.com. Looking forward to chatting to you guys next week, and let's have a discussion. Next week we're going to talk a little bit about artificial intelligence and how that is going to disrupt the way we do business moving forward. Cheers, everybody.